Hi guys, it's Amazing Purple Girl back with your house. This is chapter 4 because we did finish chapter 3 in the last one, which was entirely chapter 3. So let's see. So Debbie has found looks like a bottle of perfume with her name on it. Let's play. Lots of talking as usual. Dining room. Debbie's stomach growls as she begins to devour the bowl of milk and cereal. She's sitting at the large dining room table, surrounded by empty chairs. Her only company is the mysterious cat statue, which is watching her from next to the Count Chocula box. You'd think it was hungry too, she thinks as she gazes at the encrusted jewels. Oh, so it's actually a statue. I mean, it looked like perfume to me. There is no doubt that it is a very valuable piece. The fact that it is stolen is what fascinates her most. She has always been attracted to illicit activities. Even as a child, she preferred villains to heroes, and despite only ever confessing it to a friend once, Debbie loves stealing. She is overcome by a fond feeling of complicity toward Leon. She imagines the adrenaline rush he must have felt as he carried out his daring heists, carefully planning them, executing them, then revelling in his spoils. The last few years had been a wild time for Debbie. She had broken every rule she possibly could. She had become the school's bad girl, and she liked that. She enjoyed being bad and dangerous. One subject she excelled in was pulling pranks. She loved to play pranks, and the more elaborate they were, the better. She also enjoyed scamming the rich brats from school by making ridiculous bets, from which she had won a number of things that ranged from free drinks to a convertible. And although most of the time she got away with it, on a couple of occasions she had been expelled from school for a few days. What came after was much worse: her father's punishment. Physical, painful, humiliating. Debbie tips some more cereal into her bowl as she flips through the scrapbook, looking for the page that was labelled on the cat statue. Her intuition tells her that the mansion is still hiding many secrets, and all she needs to do is fit the pieces together. No way! Let's have a look at this. Oh, it's a clock. Okay. No way. Ah, the golden heist. In a daring and audacious heist that has left authorities baffled, the world-renowned golden cat figure, a priceless artefact of unparalleled beauty, has vanished from the secure confines of the International Museum of Precious Artifacts. Detective Isabella Hart, lead investigator on the case, expressed both frustration and admiration for Leon's meticulous methods. This is the work of a true mastermind. And then it says something about high-tech security. But they know it was Leon. So, is there anything there I can learn? I don't think so. Ah, there we go. There it is. A photograph of a pedestal with the statue that she now has in front of her on it, alongside 3 others. And that's not all. Debbie recognises the floor lamp next to the pedestal. It has a vintage design. It looks like something out of a 1970s sci-fi movie. She's almost certain she's seen it before, but where? The library! Debbie jumps up with a start, knocking the chair to the floor and tipping the milk carton over, which spills onto the table. Oh, I'll clean it up later. Ignoring the mess, Debbie runs out the dining room door. Off we go again with Debbie. Oh, in the office. Firmly grasping the cat statue, Debbie runs through the small office on her way to the library. She needs to find that pedestal and check it as soon as possible. So we're going to ignore the office for now. Upside down. There we go. Library. Debbie reaches the library by crossing through the office door. She had been in here before, but only to have a quick look around. Now her eyes scour the room, scanning the bookshelves and furniture piled high with books, searching for that damn pedestal. Where the hell is it? Just when she thinks her memory is playing tricks on her and she turns around to leave, Debbie sees it in the corner, next to the lamp. Just as she suspected, the pedestal was there, identical to the one she had seen in the scrapbook. But there's no sign of the cats. Debbie approaches the pedestal and examines it. It's made of polished marble and looks like it's very heavy. It has 4 holes, which are each shaped differently. She delicately tries to place the cat figure she found in the cabinet of curiosities into one of the holes, but the base of the statuette doesn't fit. "Let's see if it goes here," she mumbles as she tries to place the golden cat into another hole in the pedestal, but it doesn't fit in that one either. However, as she places it in the 3rd hole, she finally is able to firmly insert the figurine. "What a cute little kitty," she says to herself, smirking. Debbie takes a couple of steps back to admire the pedestal thoughtfully. It's obvious that there are 3 missing figures that must also be placed on it. There you go. It goes there. Why didn't she try that one first? I'm joking. I know that it's just putting it there. Okay, so that's 1 down. We need 3 more. Okay, so yeah, it's there. It's like a mouse. I don't think we can do anything in here. Okay. So, now what? Back to the office, maybe? Ah, it was in the game. Thank goodness for that. Office. Still startled by the telephone ringing, Debbie returns to the office from the library and stops abruptly in front of the phone. Picking it up could only cause more trouble. The house is supposed to be empty. She's not supposed to be there at all. Or maybe she is. She rubs her sweaty fingertips together uncertainly. "Come on, leave me alone." She holds her breath, waiting for the caller to give up. One more, and I'm sure they'll hang up. The phone keeps ringing. What if it's for me? Debbie can't look away. But who would know I'm here? Maybe the person who sent you the stuff?
Hello, Debbie.
Yep.
I've been waiting to talk with you for a long time, you know. But first, you must listen to me very carefully. We don't have much time. Please, help me find my cats.
Ah.
They've gotten lost all over this massive house.
Okay.
Once they're all together, they'll give you a time. The time to cry.
Ooh, I want to cry. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Debbie swallows hard and takes a minute to think. She almost feels relieved. She was afraid she'd hear her father on the other end of the line, angrily making threats and ordering her to come home at once. But no, the voice sounded unfamiliar, and that reassured her. Whoever it is, someone wants to keep playing with her. All right, so that's how it's going to be, is it? She says as she nods, plucking up her courage. Well, you asked for it. I'm going to get this over with. And I'm going to beat you. Feeling more determined than ever, Debbie walks out the door, prepared to find the 3 missing figures. But where do we start? Living room. Debbie is a bundle of nerves as she enters the living room and starts pacing around in circles in an attempt to clear her mind. Her gaze falls on the huge couch that presides over the living room. The plush cushions seem to be calling her name. Oh, there's a... What's it say? Oh, I can't click on it. Not now. She has more important things at hand. She must find the missing figures. She wants to solve this damn mystery. She can choose to go to the hall, take the stairs, return to the dining room, go back to the library, or go into the office. It says there are 2 means of refuge from the miseries of life: music and cats. And there's an X, there's one with paw prints, and there's one with cubes. It's a bit odd that I can't click on it. So, music. Wasn't there music in the library? Debbie returns to the library. She ceremoniously approaches the shelf where the pedestal of cat-shaped statuettes is located. Debbie hasn't been able to find any of the 3 missing cats yet. I'm on it. Debbie must keep looking. And in front of her is the door to the living room. To the right is the office door. Let's go back to the office. No doubt I'll have lots of cutting out to do. We'll see. Office. Debbie returns to the office. She once again sits down in front of the reddish mahogany desk and opens the drawers one by one. There she finds all kinds of documents, architectural plans, contracts, handwritten notes, newspaper clippings. She checks the bookshelves and pulls some tomes out of place, hoping that one of them will magically activate a mechanism or a clue that points her toward where the cat figure is. But she has no luck. That would be too good to be true, wouldn't it? Once she's done, she bends down to look under the table, where she only finds dust gathering on the carpet. As she gets up, she bumps into the bottom of the desk. Ouch! She complains, although leaving empty-handed hurts her more than the blow. Nothing. There is no statue here. It's time to continue inspecting the rest of the house. She can try her luck by returning to the library or going back to the living room. Right. So if we go back to the living room, then we can go somewhere else from there. Let's go to the stairs. Stairs. Debbie stands at the top of the stairs just off the living room. She doubtfully rests her hand on the wooden railing. What now? She can either go upstairs or go down to the floor below. I'm going to go up. Hallway. Debbie decisively climbs up the stairs and walks down the hallway. The old portraits hanging on the walls seem to get a kick out of watching her scurry up and down. She likes some faces more than others, but even so, Debbie is now used to their condescending stares from beyond the grave. Without further ado, Debbie searches the study, the bedroom, and the dressing room. She turns all 3 rooms inside out, opening closets and drawers, pushing furniture aside, rummaging in every corner. However, there's nothing. The missing cats are not there. Exhausted, she leans her back against a wall in the hallway and drops herself down onto the carpet. Damn it, I can't give up now. Gathering her strength, she gets up. She still has 2 other places left to explore on this floor. The attic and the guest room. Oh, we haven't been to either of those. There's those paintings, portraits again. Which gave me the clue where I thought this man was wearing glasses, and he is not. Oh, what's that noise? I'm not sure. Let's go to the attic first. Attic. Debbie solemnly walks toward a door at the top of the mansion, the one leading to the attic. She is about to turn the knob, but it is locked. She always forgets that she can't get in there. It's one of those little things that still force her to feel like an intruder in the house. Someday I'll find the key. Someday. Well, okay. Maybe we will. Debbie turns around and continues on her way down the hallway. So we'll go to the guest room, I guess. Guest room. Walking down the hallway, Debbie directs her steps towards the guest room. When she arrived at the mansion, it seemed to her that the most appropriate thing would have been to stay in this room. Someone had sent her the keys to the front door, sure, but she was still a guest. As soon as she opens the door, however, Debbie immediately remembers why she ruled out making the room her own. It's full of junk. Indeed, rather than a guest bedroom, it seems to be more like a storage room. Wow. Oh my word. The sophistication and refinement that set the rest of the rooms in the mansion apart is conspicuously absent here. Why are there so many things I can click on? How on earth am I supposed to find the statue here? Oh, why is that not in italics? Or maybe she says it out loud, because I think the rest is in her thoughts. A cat figurine. It was hidden in there. Excellent. Yes, I found it. Debbie holds the cat figurine tightly and lifts it triumphantly above her head, jumping up and down with joy. After gently dusting it off, Debbie is able to see that the statue is made of shiny metal. She can't say for sure, but she's convinced it's sterling silver. I'll take you to the rest of the litter, she says as she watches the deformed reflection of her face on the metal surface of the figurine. Huffing and puffing and trying not to trip over the pile of junk all over the floor, she steps back out into the hallway. Not long to go now to finish her mission. I found 2 cats. Well, we already have one. I found 1 cat. It was so funny. I was clicking them all as it was there. Right. Okay. Right, so we've done both of those. We need to go back to stairs and go down below. Oh, it's dark. Basement. As she walks downstairs and opens the basement door, Debbie immediately feels a little shiver. Everything is dark. The dim dusk light from the stairs barely illuminates the entrance to the room, so it is hard to get a sense of the real size of the basement. Debbie pats the wall on either side of the door, searching for a switch, but doesn't find one. She takes a step forward, but a sinister musty smell brings her to a halt. Who knows what's down here? There's no point in insisting. If she keeps moving forward, she could easily trip or bump into something. I need a flashlight. There's got to be one around here somewhere. Resigned, Debbie turns back, but I'll just make sure. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, so we need a torch for that. So, back to the living room. Still can't click on this. Right. Hall? Maybe the hall. Let's say we haven't been to the hall. Debbie reaches the hall. From there she can access a small guest toilet or return to the living room. I still can't click on these things. Huh. Okay, toilet then I guess. Toilet. From the hall, Debbie slightly opens the bathroom door and pokes her head in, not quite convinced that this is the right place to be searching for figurines. It would be a miracle if I happened to find the cats in here. She opens the door wide and turns on the light. After a quick glance around, she sees her reflection in the mirror and makes a face. Here I am playing detective, looking like this, she says as she fixes her hair with her fingers. Debbie sighs heavily as she realises just how much of a hermit she has become since she arrived at the house. The truth is, she doesn't care, but deep down she misses getting all dressed up to go partying and break some guy's, or girl's, heart. But if it were me, I'd definitely hide one in here, she mutters to herself as she pictures the 4 cat-shaped statues. Okay, so there's nothing in there. And why can't I do anything with this picture? I mean, why is the picture there? It's a living room. Okay. Dining room for a torch. Debbie returns to the dining room. The bowl of cereal and the overturned milk carton are still there just as she left them earlier. What a mess, she sighs. After a sad attempt to wipe up the puddle of milk with some paper napkins, Debbie turns her attention to what really matters now, the cat statue. She kneels down in front of the glass furniture, cupboards and cabinets that line the huge dining room table. She finds a bit of everything: silver cutlery, bohemian crystal goblets, porcelain tableware. But what about the cat? Come on, where are you hiding, Kitty? Discouraged, she sits down on a chair and crosses her arms on the table, resting her chin on the cold wood. She glances at the clock out of the corner of her eye. How long have I spent searching? And of course this is what we're going to get an answer to when we find the other two cats. But there must be one in the basement. Leaving the dining room, Debbie enters the kitchen. Despite it being one of the rooms in the house she has been in the most, for the first time she realises just how big it is. When she lived in her father's house, she barely set foot in the kitchen. When she did visit the kitchen, it was to raid the refrigerator, where there was always some freshly prepared delight. There she had round-the-clock service, so there was no need to get her hands dirty, not even to make herself a sandwich. Here, on the other hand, the fridge is practically empty. So far, she has subsisted on takeaway pizza and chicken wings, boxes of which are piled up on the counter. She hasn't even bothered to take an inventory of the pots, pans, frying pans, and other utensils at her disposal. Cooking isn't her thing, but sooner or later she'll have to get on with it. Okay. Hey! We found one, so the last one must be in the basement. Debbie can't help but suppress a wry smile. It felt as if someone wanted to teach her a lesson by hiding the figurine inside a pot, as if they knew that was the last place she would think to search. Gotcha, she says as she grabs the cat-shaped statuette with both hands. It is ceramic, so it is quite light. Taking a closer look, she notices that it is also covered with precious stones. Are those diamonds? Overjoyed and without missing a beat, Debbie comes out of the kitchen with the new figurine in her possession. Debbie returns to the dining room, aware that she has already thoroughly searched it. The bowl of Count Chocula and the overturned milk carton are still where she left them. "No, I'm wasting my time. There's nothing more to do around here," she says to herself in a scolding tone. She has no choice but to keep looking. So, office or living room? I'll go to the office. Have to find a torch. Okay, we've done all that. That's the message. So there's nothing in the office then. Okay, library. Okay, Debbie returns to the library. She ceremoniously approaches the shelf where the pedestal of cat-shaped statuettes is located. There are now a total of 3 cats on the pedestal. There's only one missing. One final push, let's go. Debbie must keep looking. So, living room or office. Why haven't I found a torch? Aren't they pretty? 3 cats in a row. Living room, I think. I'm trying to work out where I need to go to get to. Yeah. Okay. To the hall. Ah. Actually did something. Beware of the cat. Oh, come on. There, you got it. Ha ha ha, did it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, finding them hasn't been easy, but I hope it was worth all the effort. Shaking like jelly, Debbie prepares herself to place the 3 cat-shaped figurines on the pedestal next to the ones she originally found in the cabinet. As she tries to fit them in, she can't help but admire the glittering jewels that cover each of the figurines. The light that reflects off them dazzles her for a moment that seems to go on forever. Just one of these is worth a fortune. I can't even imagine what 4 must be worth. I'm sure I could make a lot of money from the whole collection. Suddenly, Debbie slows herself down and stands still, holding one of the cats in both her hands. She daydreams about running out of there. What's the point of staying in the house? She doesn't know whose it is, nor if anyone will suddenly show up. Nor does she know if she's in danger. Yeah, maybe it would be best to get the hell out of here with the loot. I've earned it after all, she thinks out loud. However, there is something inside her that prompts her to stay. She's not sure what life awaits for her out there, but she can take a pretty good guess. On the other hand, she knows for certain that the secrets hidden in the mansion will haunt her for the rest of her life. No, she cannot afford that luxury. It would be like leaving a book half read or quitting a video game before defeating the final boss. Nah, no way. I'm staying. She decidedly places the final figurine on the pedestal. Then she hears a mechanical noise and the buttons just below the figurines light up. Debbie presses the buttons and listens to the different meows dumbfounded. What's with these numbers? What do they mean? Debbie closely watches the 4 figurines for some time, sure that there is still something missing. The only thing she's unsure about is whether to go to the dining room or go back to the office in search of a way to solve her problem. That's the highest, isn't it? But that is a time, that's 11:45. Or is it the clock? Dining room. Oh, the clock's chiming. Debbie enters the dining room again. The stain left by the spilled milk is beginning to dry. She knows that the longer it takes for her to clean it up, the harder it will be. But she has her sights set on other things for now. I'll clean it up later on, I swear, she lies to herself. Tired, she takes another look at the cuckoo clock hanging on the wall. She finds it hard to believe that it's already 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow. She peers through the door frame and indeed sees the light from the street lamps spilling in through the living room window. Far from being discouraged, she feels a spike of adrenaline. After all, she has always been a night owl. I have to beat this stupid game no matter what. Debbie feels that she is very close, that the answer is there, right under her nose, hidden on the phone and in the cats. There we go. Oh man. Can you play that again? Oh gosh, how am I supposed to remember that? I can try it. Did it. Debbie is overwhelmed with astonishment. On the shelf in front of her, a cubicle that had been hidden behind a screen covered with false book spines has just opened up. Inside the compartment there is a panel with 8 selector switches. Debbie takes a note of the names written on the side of each button. Despite reading them over and over, none of them ring a bell. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Debbie notices a number engraved on the panel with the 8 selectors. I can hardly believe my eyes. P59. At this point in the game of cat and mouse, Debbie no longer believes in coincidences. On that very page she finds a handwritten note, jotted down in a neat and refined print. Okay. Dial your phone. Reduce from 25% to 10%. Reduce from 15% to 10%. Okay. The reductions went into effect on April the 1st. Okay, just dial your phone. Okay. Debbie enters the office, leaving the library. She is plagued with doubts that prevent her from thinking clearly. Who is messing with her? Could it be the sinister-looking man who she saw lurking around the neighbourhood, and who sent Hicksville College the letter with the key in it? What if they turn out to be the same person? The honest truth is that she may very well be at the mercy of a psychopath who, at this very minute, may be having a fantastic time torturing her, like a cat toying with a dying mouse moments before devouring it. A cat, just like a cat, she mutters under her breath, pushing those gruesome thoughts out of her head. Debbie stops in front of the phone and picks it up. Slowly she brings her left hand to the device, ready to dial a number, as she recalls the words written on the note. Dial your phone. Well, how do I know what number to ring? Yeah, that's not helpful. I don't know what number to ring though. Still I equals A. It can't be 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Mm-hmm.
Using the right lens, the dice on the cushion will reveal my name. As long as you know how to see it, my name is hidden in the prints on the big cushion. The right light will show you where my name begins. To find out the rest, you will have to add a Pinot Noir, then a Merlot, and lastly a Shiraz. Cheers.
Wine.
Someone is waiting to tell you my name, using the light up in the attic. Use your flashlight and the black cushion to send a signal.
Oh great, I don't have either of those. Alright, I'm going to find a light. Ah, okay, hang on, there is more here. Debbie returns to the library. She's exhausted. However, she knows she won't be able to get to sleep until she sorts out the mess she's gotten herself into. She needs to think. She rubs her eyes and face with both hands, trying to clear her head. She takes another look at the open compartment, at the select panel, at the names, at the door leading to the office and the one leading back to the living room. Back in the library, Debbie wanders around the room in circles, trying to make sense of it all. What am I missing? There's something I'm not seeing. She sits in the chair behind the desk, lost in thought. The scrapbook still sits on the small table, open to the page that the handwritten note can be found on. This note must be a clue, I'm sure of it. But all it says is dial your phone. On long distance and local service. But there's a light. I can't remember where the light was. Let's go to the office. No, it wasn't there. Okay, so not the office. Remember where the light was. Living room. That's where the cushions are, right? Okay, so you've got one with cubes. Poor Prince. Yeah, I read that already. And then X. Okay. Where was the light? There, found it. Okay. Oh, hell. Didn't stay on long. Okay, I am going to leave chapter 4 here. As I said, I didn't want to make these one per chapter when I realised how long the chapters were, but unfortunately I didn't realise that I had got to the end of the chapter, and because I cut things out I don't exactly know how long it's going to take. So that's it for now. We will carry on trying to work out this mystery in the next one. Looks like we need wine. I certainly do. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more Your House.